Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing 3 different tilapia recipes. So let's get started with all the recipes. The first recipe is going to be the tilapia fish with ginger and garlic. First, I'm going to start by drizzling some avocado oil on top of the tilapia fish. I'm going to be using my fingers to rub all the oil on the tilapia. Then I'm going to turn it over and follow the same process. I'm going to start by adding the garlic powder. The one that I have here is the organic, but whatever you have, you could also add the fresh garlic if you don't have powder. So I'm just adding it on top. Now I'm going to be adding the ginger powder. You could also add fresh ginger if you don't have the powder. Now I'm going to be adding the pepper. It just depends how much pepper you want to add. This is your preference. Now I'm going to be adding some sea salt. Just spread it on top. Now it's time to turn it over, and then I'm going to follow the same process, which is first adding the avocado oil and then the rest of the ingredients. First, I'm going to be adding the avocado oil to the pan. Now that I have added the oil, I'm going to be adding some of this butter. This is the Irish butter. The brand is the Kerrygold. So I'm going to add it for the tilapia to have some flavor. So now I'm going to add the first tilapia. These are from Costco. I'm going to be leaving the tilapia about 5 minutes on each side. Once the tilapia is ready on that side, I'm going to turn it over. This recipe was inspired by my friend Aline. Shout out to you, Aline. Now it's time to remove the tilapia from the pan. The first recipe is ready. I added some lettuce, some carrots on the side, and then I added 2 slices of lemon. Next recipe is the crushed red pepper tilapia. Let's start with the next recipe and just drizzle on top your olive oil or your avocado oil or any oil you have. Now let's just add the garlic powder. Let's add some pepper. Now I'm going to be adding the crushed peppers. For this recipe, you could add as much crushed peppers as you want. It just depends how spicy you want it. Now let's turn it over and let's repeat the same process. And the last ingredient is, don't forget to drizzle some sea salt or any salt. Now it's time to add the oil into the pan. Now I am also going to add a little bit of the Kerrygold butter. I'm putting it on medium heat on my stove, and now it's time to add it. Now I'm going to put my timer for 5 minutes on each side. I also wanted to mention that when you buy tilapia fish, please stay away from the ones that come from China. Okay, moving on. Now it's time to turn it over. The 5 minutes had already passed. And here it is, the spicy fish tilapia. In this one, I added the lemon. I also added some lettuce. And I also added some avocado with the crushed flakes. And lastly, I'm making the almond crusted tilapia. Let's start the next recipe. I'm going to be using 3/4 of almond flour. Just in case you don't have the almond flour, you can also use the coconut flour. Next, I'm going to be using 1/2 teaspoon of the garlic powder. I'm going to be adding some pepper. Now I'm going to be adding some sea salt. Now I'm going to be adding the zest of 1 lemon. The zest of the lemon is going to add a tangy flavor to this recipe. It is time to mix all the ingredients. Before I start, I'm going to again drizzle some oil. I'm adding the oil because I want the almond flour to stick to it more easily. Then I'm going to add the oil on both sides. Now I am going to be adding the sea salt. I'm going to add the sea salt on both sides just because I want the tilapia to have some more flavor. Now it's time to add all the mixture on top of the tilapia fish. I'm just going to make sure I cover the front and the back with the almond flour. Let me tell you that this recipe is going to need more oil than the other recipes. For this recipe, I'm also adding the butter. If you also have ghee butter, you could also add that one. Now it's time to add it into the pan. This one is ready to be turned in about 5 minutes. Now it's time to remove the tilapia, and then I'm going to put it in a plate. In this plate, I added the almond crushed tilapia. I added some lemon, some lettuce, and some ranch. Hope you like all the recipes. Don't forget to like and share. Until now, I'll see you in my next videos. Bye!